We couldn't get a lot going offensively. Anytime you have 3 first downs in the first half, you're putting your defense out there quite a bit. And I thought defensively, keeping them out as long as we did, we put them in a heck of a jam, even though we did have a couple missed assignments and a few missed tackles. But at the end of the day, you know, it's over, and we got to get ready on a short week for Green Bay.
Mike, how much do you think Robert's performance in the first 3 quarters was attributable to just the rust of not playing in the preseason?
Well, it's everybody. It's just not one guy. So until I look at the film, but it's a combination of you got to have 11 guys going together. If you got 9, 10, sometimes it looks the way it did. You just can't get any momentum, and you turn the ball over early. Put our defense in some tough situations during the game. We just couldn't catch up. Had an opportunity, even late, to get us back in the ball game, and we jump off sides on that 4th down and had the right protection, the right play, and at least had an opportunity to get back in the game. We fell a little bit short.
Mike, to Mark's point, though, the way Robert played in the 4th quarter, he looked a little bit different. Is it fair to say he was slow getting going, and is there any way you can attribute that to just not playing in games?
Well, like I said, you know, it's a combination of a lot of things. Anytime your offense doesn't go, you're always going to try to put it on the quarterback. That's kind of the nature of the business. And it wasn't the quarterback. It's a combination of a lot of people working together. And one guy's a little off here and there, and if it's a drop, you know, if it's a drop ball or it's a missed assignment, it's a penalty. A combination of those things, and we got to play much better than we did.
Mike, you guys had 3 turnovers in the first 6 offensive plays, I think 4 total on the night. When you consider what you guys did last year, how disappointing was that? How surprising was it?
Well, that's one thing we've been doing a great job of, you know, is not turning the football over, you know, last year. And we know what our goals are, and that's what I'm talking about. You can't make those mistakes.
Your defense, they came out with just such fast pace, seemed like they were struggling to kind of catch up to that tempo. What was it that they were doing that made it so difficult for them? Well,
number one, what we couldn't do as a team is we kept them on the field the whole game. Their defense did a great job of slowing us down. You get three first downs. They had a lot of opportunities to be on the field. I'm not sure how many plays they had in the first half, but it had to be a lot because we weren't out there very much. And they did a good job executing. You know, we didn't do a great job tackling. We gave up a couple big plays, and we'll go back to the drawing board and get better.
Did you feel, though, that your guys were in the right positions on defense and just didn't execute?
Well, like I said, they did a great job. McCoy's a heck of a back. I'm not sure how many yards he got, but he did a heck of a job making people miss. We got to get better at tackling. Like I said, we had a couple missed assignments from some young guys that cost us. And a combination of a play here, play there. I can't tell you exactly until I look at the film, but I can tell you that we did have too many missed tackles. We had too many mistakes in the first half. You can't go against a team with a high-tempo offense and have 3 first downs and expect your defense to play well in the first half.
Mike, you know this offense, you know what it's supposed to look like. Assess Robert's timing and how he saw things and how he reacted to those things. Do you think that he was where you thought he would be?
Like I said, you want to talk about Robert. I mean, in offense, you just can't talk about one guy. You know, it's a combination of everybody. And for an offense to click, you can't have any missed assignments. And we had a few busted assignments, a couple drop balls, and we were in sync. Too many penalties, and anytime you get behind the 8 ball like we did, and you have an offense that is as productive as they were, you know, you're in for a long half, which we were.
Did he look slow in some of his reactions to you?
No, I didn't think so. I thought he did a great job for not playing, especially in that second half, the 3rd and 4th quarter. We started to come back and make some big-time plays, and had a lot of guys banged up, a lot of guys hurt out there that kept on trying to play. So there's a lot of good things as well.
Like, what was the decision on Merriweather, and how much effect do you think that had?
The decision not to play Merriweather is he could not play. His groin was too sore.
How different was this Eagles offense compared to how you guys have been simulating it over the last few weeks?
Kind of what we thought. You know, it was what they've done before in the past. You know, the one thing that you got to be able to do is you got to tackle McCoy, you got to tackle Vic. I thought Jackson made a couple plays in there, so they out executed us.
Mike, can we get an update on Ryan Kerrigan and Chris Thompson?
Yeah, he's being evaluated for a concussion. Ryan is.
How about Chris Thompson?
Chris is okay, I believe. We had a couple guys that had some cramps, and Pierre and a couple of our linemen that were out there, they cramped up, so I think they'll be okay.
Mike, on those cramping issues, I mean, obviously, first game, we see that across the league a lot. Is that just what you would attribute it to, or was it the speed and the tempo of how they were running and how long you guys were out there in some cases?
Well, that's why you get cramps. When a team has the ball as many plays as they do and guys are playing very hard, with the heat out there and as much running as they're doing, they do have cramps, and that's why we had a couple of guys go down with cramps, and Pierre as well. I mean, Pierre was running a lot of routes there in that 2-minute offense, and he was going as hard as he could, and he wanted to go back out there. I just took him on in the last series. I could see he was going to pull something.
You think your guys are overeager tonight, or they just didn't play well? Or what do you tell them after just the first game, but a game that a lot of people had expectations about tonight?
Well, you can't change those expectations. They found a way to win the football game, and we didn't. And it's a 16-round fight, and we lost the first round. Just take them one at a time. But I was pleased with the way they fought back. We did some things good in the second half, and we just got to keep on rolling.
Coach, can you talk about some of the positive things you could take away from this game moving forward?
Yeah, you take a look at the things that you did well, and there's not a whole lot to look at offensively. When we talked about it, or at least I mentioned a bunch of times, you got 3 first downs. That's not indicative of the way we play. We run the ball pretty good, and we throw the ball pretty good. And I'm going to take my hat off to Philly. They did an excellent job defensing us in that first half, and we had to open things up a little bit more. And I was pleased with our guys, how they fought back and executed and made a game of it. We had a chance there in that fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden we had that fourth down or third down and just couldn't convert.
Mike, Thompson fair caught one punch at the 4, returned another from the 6. How much is his decision-making going to have to grow as he grows into that role?
Yeah, that one when he caught the ball on the 5-yard line, especially with the fair catch, that's a mistake. That's a rookie mistake. And the more experience he gets, the better he's going to be. They had some great coverage, and there wasn't a lot of holes there. But I was pleased with his effort. But those decisions are going to have to improve.
Mike, on the penalties, was there anyone that particularly jumped out at you as just, was it the Trent one on the fourth down or D'Angelo on the sideline?
Well, you could see there was a little hesitation there. But, man, hey, you got to keep on working those little things. But anytime you have penalties, you try to eliminate them. But there's a couple of them in there today that cost us, especially that fourth down penalty.
It's uncharacteristic for Alfred to have the couple of turnovers that he had. Did you say anything to him after his slow start with the fumble and the safety?
No, I just told him to wipe it out. I said, you're going to have mistakes like that. You got to wipe it out of your mind, just like a defensive back can beat on a go route or a post route. You feel bad about what you did, but you can't, dwell on it, or you're going to make other mistakes. So, Alfred's an excellent player. Those things are going to happen, those type of games, and you just got to be able to wipe it out.
Did the game conditions kind of keep you from doing a lot of design runs with Robert, or was that kind of in your mind already not to run him a whole lot?
Well, it all depends on what a defense is doing. Sometimes they are design runs, but we're not sure who's going to get the ball. And other times that, they take the ball carrier away. And so, you're just not really sure what a defense is going to do, if they're going to let a running back run or the quarterback. And we try to mix it up to keep, people off balance as much as we can.
Coach, looking back on this, do you think that maybe perhaps Robert should have played in any of those preseason games?
Well, the one thing I look at that I'm glad Robert's going to be with us. I'm hoping he's going to be with us for a while. And our priority was getting him, ready for the season and not putting him in there too quick. I think you'd be quite disappointed if he got hurt in the second week of our camp, and we'd be talking about why do you practice Robert when he might not have been ready to play. So I think he was ready to play. It looked like he